email address they put on their candidacy, that's the email it went to. But I will tell you, it did not go to her employment.
Okay,
It
yeah,
is a
and I
different.
do see that there was someone,
Yes,
that put that.
Pam Beck,
okay.
hers did go to the town of Pam, or town of Flora.
And it's probably not a good practice to do that.
No, I wouldn't think so. And as an attachment, this was what I had attached to it that they could open, which sent them, told them, you know, you must file even if you don't have anything. And that brings up,
And this is not her first trip to the rodeo either, so.
we have, since received her report, and I would like to read a brief summary if you would like. Mr. Sandora, you have once again circumvented the board's policies and directives with your actions yesterday. I sent out an email to both board members at 12:44 p.m. with the status update that Ms. Aldridge had not picked up the certified letter sent to her on April 14th, nor had she turned in her campaign finance report. I went to lunch shortly thereafter, and when I returned, you, Drew, had sent an email at 2:01 asking for permission to go see Leanne. I responded immediately upon seeing your email stating that this needed to be discussed in an open meeting prior to doing anything. You, however, decided to take matters into your own hands once again, and you went to her place of employment to tell her about the late report. Miss Aldridge was in my office turning in this report at 2:48 p.m. This seemed a little coincidental to me, so I decided to follow up with the post office today. I verified with the post office today that as of 9 a.m., that letter had still not been picked up. And then I called the city building and spoke with Marilyn, who stated that you did indeed go into the clerk's office yesterday afternoon. I followed the procedures that the board voted on and put into place, and you undermined the other two election board members by doing things outside of this policy, and have now opened this board up to being perceived as giving special consideration for certain candidates. Your behavior and entitlement attitude are becoming increasingly concerning to me as a fellow board member. Your verbal attacks, condescending behavior towards me, and lack of respect for my position as county clerk has been evident in past meetings. I am asking that you resign effective immediately from the Carroll County Election Board. This isn't the first time you've circumvented the system with the attorney. You're disrespectful in meetings towards me. You tell me how to run my office. And I don't believe, moving forward, that you're a good fit to represent the citizens of Carroll County.
So you are entitled to your opinion, but I will not resign. And I will not apologize for making a simple stop, and I will tell you exactly what I said. I stopped in the office and I said, hey Leanne, did you know your finance report is late? She said no. I said it was due on the 14th. She had a look of surprise. And I said, did you not get the certified letter that was sent? Because we sent a certified letter. And she said, I didn't get any letter. I said, well, I'm told there was a note or a sticker on the door. She said, was it put on the front door? I said, I don't know, because I'm not the one that did it. And she said, I never use that door. I'll never see that. And I said, well, it is late. And she said she didn't spend any, and she didn't take any donations. I said, you still have to file the report. If possible, can you get to the clerk's office before 5 to submit that report so that it can be dealt with? She said, no problem. After she submitted the report, she called and told me she did, and thanked me for letting her know, and that was it. So, would I do that for anyone else? Yes, if I had the ability to do so. Leanne is not even a member of my party. So it was not preferential treatment because it's Leanne. I barely know Leanne. I know who she is. I talked to her before when I lived here in the city and I had to make utility payments. I may have talked to her a few times in council meetings when I went to council meetings, but I don't know her personally. And yes, I would have done it for anyone else She was the only report that was outstanding. We're having this meeting today. So, if my chairman is here, if she asks me to step down, I will do so at her request. If you wanna send that letter to the state board, feel free to do so. The only thing I ask is that you not file a lawsuit costing taxpayers money to get me removed from office. It is a $800 or $900 a year position. I don't do it for the money. Sandy and I have calculated that we make less than $8 or right at $8 an hour. It's a lot of responsibility. I get hammered in the newspaper for trying to do what's right. After last year's election, I see that I'm needed here. Because that mess that happened last year can't happen again. We cannot use this board. We are not allowed to campaign for or against a candidate. And if we use our meetings to make accusations that have not been proven, because they go out there with no explanation, they go out there with no resolution.
Are you referring to the letter I just read? Because you, okay, so what accusations and
talking
what
about
happened last year, I guess.
Against the sheriff. And I'm not saying that you did it personally, but there were a number of times that things were brought up in our meetings that could be understood to be fact, when in fact there was no evidence that was proven. And in fact, all the evidence had been disproven, which is exactly why I didn't allow it to be presented at the meeting just before the election in the primary. Because we had no solid.
And we put a policy in place.
Mhm.
That's what I'm saying, we're putting policies in place and you're going behind the policies. And that's what I don't
think I'm going beyond them. I'm going above and beyond to going back to, it's not our responsibility to help candidates along the process, but I think we need to do what we can to help them through the process.
But you've now opened it up to where if anyone else is late or anyone else has a problem, you need to go and personally find them. And if you don't, then this board is going to be criticized because the same thing wasn't done for them that you just did for Leanne. It's not proper to do that. It is not proper to do that without the board's consent. And you chose to do it. You sent an email asking for permission. And you went and did it before you even got, I don't even know if you even got the email. You sent without objection, I can go by her office. And I said, before we do anything, this needs to be discussed in an open meeting. I have followed the procedures the board already has in place, and you still went and did it. That's improper.
So I sent the email, and then I went to lunch with my wife, and on the way home, I didn't make a special effort to do it, other than I was driving by the office anyway, so I just stopped in and said something. So I'm sorry.
I can think of twice that I think you've gone too far. And I think Sharon was taking care of this, and that's where it should have been.
That's my job.
She was doing it. The other time was when we asked her to take care of the lawyer, to find us a lawyer for the lawsuit. And when we had our next meeting, you had the name of somebody, which we had already asked her to do. So to me, that was stepping out. We shouldn't have done that.
I can understand your view.
We can do it from this point forward, if you're not going to resign, then from this point forward, I make a motion that you contact all candidates when reports are due, and you're responsible for sending notification, and you take care of that. Because I'm not going to be held accountable for your actions when you're going above and beyond, trying to help, whatever your explanation is. It's still showing favoritism to another candidate. And I don't know that you would do that. And I don't know that you would do that for another candidate. If you don't like the candidate, or you can't find the candidate, then that candidate has now not got that same treatment that you just gave Leanne. It's
So
improper.
if I'd gone to Leanne's office and she weren't there, I wouldn't.
You shouldn't
be
even
able
have went
tell
to
her.
her place of business. That's improper.
So regardless,
That's
this
improper.
is what I'll agree to do. You proceed with the policies, the procedures that are in effect right now. You notify me of any late reports, and I will make every effort to personally contact them to make sure that they saw. I don't have a problem with that, because I don't wanna, I hate, and I'm gonna go as far as to say, Leanne, like I said, this is not her first rodeo. Personal responsibility, she should have known. She's done that, she's been in that office umpteen years.
But even if she didn't get the certified mail, which she has refused to pick up,
She didn't know about it, is what she told me.
but how does the postman know to go to a back door, a side door,
I
a
understand.
basement door
I totally understand, and it goes back
Well,
to the
because he
responsibility.
delivers mail there every day.
every day? So
Well,
where's the mail?
Well,
I mean,
I'm
where's the
just
mailbox?
throwing some
Cause
other
I'm
things out there.
guessing
I think this
she's,
is getting a little bit nitpicky.
So, because here's
We're
the
here
thing,
to
Sharon,
help.
I'm not saying that she shouldn't be fined, and that's what the point I was trying to make.
Right, there's a procedure. in place.
So, but knowing, when I heard that she was late, when I heard that she didn't pick up, when you told me she didn't pick up my first thought was, she must, cause I know enough about Leanne that she's detailed enough that if she got it, she's not gonna just ignore it. So I went above and beyond,
but
to
she
make
did
sure.
ignore the email.
apparently she did.
I mean, everyone was notified the same time, and I actually notified people early.
So, you're beating a horse that I've already given medicine to. I've already alluded to the fact that I'm not saying that she should be excused from this. My argument is that I just went above and beyond to eliminate, because our job is not to get them. Our job is to get the report. So if that means me going and talking to everyone that's late, I will gladly do that.
And,
Every year, every election,
and so what happens if you happen to be out
Then
of
I'm
town when the reports
that's
are?
my responsibility.
Or what do we do when you do give up the position? How do we handle the next person? In the past, people have been notified. Is the next person gonna take on
We
that?
don't do it the way that it used to be done.
Yes, we most certainly do.
No, we don't. I guarantee you we don't. Because I ran for election, I did not fill out my report. Andrea called me 20 minutes before the deadline, and she said, you didn't file your report. And she filled it out, and I came in and signed it.
Which is highly improper then.
It may be improper, but it is not the way, so that's the way it was done for me, so I know it's not the way we're doing it now. My point is, things change.
Well, the law doesn't change, and the law
That's
says how you contact one, you contact all, and that is what I did. I did
contacted
everything,
the
I
one
did,
person that was late.
My opinion is that we ask Sharon to do something, and that's what Sharon should be doing. You and I, we don't do it. It's her job. She's taking care of it. I mean,
it's not, I mean, I went above and beyond to keep you notified that we still have a late report, we still have a late report. I'm keeping you in the loop, but that seems to have,
So my question
given
is,
you the authority to
do you
go
want,
against the board.
you're asking me to do all that, but do you still want me to notify?
I'd like to say something. That's not his job to do.
I agree.
It's the clerk's.
Exactly.
And let me finish. The clerk is to do that. If she doesn't do it, then it's on her. She cannot have special treatment for anybody, any candidate whatsoever. So she needs to do it the correct way. Drew can say, I'm not gonna notify him anymore, we're done with it. And I am not going to replace Drew Sandora as the Carroll County Republican representative.
That's fine. I don't think that he needs to be removed. Drew does a good job.
Yes, he does.
So we have two options, and I'll leave it up to you. do you want me to do the notifications the way I did in the end? Or do you prefer I just not do it at all?
I prefer you let me do my job.
Okay, and I
And
did,
my job is to notify people. I notified them by email telling them the report was due. I gave them 10 days notice that the report was due, which is not even required. We don't have to tell them that the reports are due. There's no statute that says we do that. But we do. We have chosen as a board,
point of clarity, the state actually does do that, and it's
When they're
incumbent, but
late.
we're not.
when they're late,
Right.
I'd
you
like
have to
know,
notify
did
them.
you guys send
Yes.
an email to Leanne on,
Yes,
She
so
said she did.
that it
yeah.
was late?
I'm not, when they're late, I'm required to send it by certified mail.
Okay, but
And-
you
and I
could do
did.
email also. And you could, I
I-
mean, because I'm,
If,
reason I'm
if the
saying
board,
this.
yes, if the board agreed,
Because-
I mean, I'm following what the board has already agreed. I just to notify them that the report was due, and then when it was late, do the next procedure, which is what I did. If the board wishes to change that, then let's change it.
Why I'm saying that is if you send something certified mail, I mean, she's got all these days in there. That happened to another person a couple years ago. And if it was by regular mail, it might take 7 days to get there. You
Right.
have 7 days of fines.
Right.
That's not right.
The
In this
cert-
day and age, when you can send an email and say, hey, if your report is not in, this is how many days you're gonna be fined. I mean, you
Yeah,
know,
the
the fine.
certified mail went out the day it was due, it went out that day. I made a point to send it out that day. And
But
she
that
had
doesn't mean
notice.
she's gonna go pick it up
And
that
she had
day.
notice on her front, well, she had notice with the mail on Monday. That was the first attempt that they made on, they did not make it a Saturday attempt, because I was told they don't do Saturday attempts for each certified mail. That's what the post office told me. So the first day was Monday. And I have that
So you got
tracked.
3 days fines.
So I do wanna clarify, Sharon, I'm not saying you did anything wrong. You did what the board had authorized you to do. I just felt like I was driving by there, she was the only one that was late. It was easy enough to go in and just make sure that she got the notification. But in the future, if you guys don't want me doing that, I'm okay not doing it.
I just think we have policies and procedures that we vote on as a board, that we agree to. And I think when those procedures are not being done, then that undermines the other board members that sit on this board.
Okay, I think we've covered it, everything's been said, once or twice, I think we need to move on.
So someone wanna make any motion that needs to be made, or?
I make a motion that in the future, the jobs that belong to Sharon, that she takes care of them, what we ask her to do, she will do. And that Drew and I, I'm gonna say both of us, Drew and I will not step out and try and take care of things ourselves. Is that clear? I mean, is that
Yeah.
clear enough?
Can we add in that, in addition to the, excuse me, certified mail, that an email gets sent as well?
Yes, I agree with that, along with certified mails.
I think that would go, being, going above and beyond without any of us making a personal notification above what it's already made, so.
So is this for any report? So like the
Any.
defective reports, I'm gonna send that out, and then I'm gonna send an email to all of them as well.
Yeah, that's
Do
probably a
I
good
need to
idea.
tell them what's wrong with it in detail, or can I just
And
send
we
a
just-
blanket email that says your
Just an
report's
email,
been?
it's been defective, you'll be
So
receiving a
Receiving
letter
a letter, yeah. You
stating.
don't need to
the
tell them
detail.
to do
Cause
anything.
otherwise, that's gonna get ruined.
Yeah.
A lot of extra work for you guys.
And that was where I was going with that.
Hopefully, we'll get this settled so that we don't have a lot of defective reports, but
So that is covering defective or late reports.
Right.
and I'll go
I
ahead
make a
and,
motion.
I'll go ahead and second that one, without you repeating all that other stuff. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Do you have anything else? So I have one question. So when I was doing, and I only say this now because I flipped the page and I saw it. So, again, this is not about Peg Braden, just the position. Her filing says clerk treasurer. But when I looked in it, well, the mayor of Delphi wasn't listed on there either, but I went to the, I forget what it's called now, where you can look up the salaries of public officials. Clerk treasurer wasn't listed for Jackson Township, but there was one called trustee. Is that the same thing? No?
Well, that is not, Pam Braden is not Jackson Township.
Oh.
Jackson,
That was Jackson.
no, Jackson is.
Camden.
Was it Jefferson?
Yes.
Jefferson.
I think it
Oh,
is
okay, I got
Jefferson.
them confused.
Town of
Okay,
Gilman.
all right.
Yeah, town of Newman.
Town of Gilman, we wouldn't go into
I'm still learning.
Jefferson Township.
Okay, that's all I have. You have anything to say?
No, I'm fine.
You have anything to say? A motion?
Oh, a motion. I make, did I not ask anything? I make a motion, we adjourn.
I'll second that motion. All in favor? Aye. Thank you. See, I kept all my PowerPoint presentations. Some of them you can't read because they made them all fancy, and when they printed out, they were so black you couldn't read the titles.
So we are going to set up.
Can we wait just a little bit to do that? I gotta call Jeff and make sure what time he's going to lunch. Would you leave at like 12:15 or
Dale.
12:30?
Dale,
That be,
It's fine with me, so that you're.
that gives me enough time to,
That'll give
I
me
didn't-
time to
I didn't
help with
get a few
deliveries if I
things.
have to.
I didn't get a few things done this morning that I need to get done, so we can do that, so.
I know 12:30
Yeah, just do 12:30 and we'll just meet.
downstairs.
Yeah, we've got all that stuff packed up and ready to go.
What are we doing?
Setting up Camden for tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
And we're